Located about 9 miles south of the Loop along the lakefront sits one of the city's most tranquil getaway spots, Jackson Park. It was designed in the late 1800s by renowned landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, the same man who designed New York's Central Park. Today, over a century later, Jackson Park endures as one of Chicago's most popular natural and historic gems. For a look at this historic place, we met up with Tim Samuelson, a resident of the area, cultural historian for the Chicago Department of Cultural Affairs, and our tour guide for the day. It's gorgeous. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, actually, you've probably heard about the Great World's Columbian Exposition. This is the one place you can really get an idea of what it must have looked like to people in 1893. This is the former arts building at the World's Fair. Of course, was redone as a museum of science and industry.
Soon after the completion of the World's Columbian Exposition, the buildings were demolished, leaving only the former arts building. Other features were replicated years later, like the Republic sculpture of 1918. But a recent tale has sparked imaginations about the fair and its majestic location.
When people come to Chicago and they want me to take them around, they always say, take me to the site of the World's Fair, because there is the novel, The Devil in the White City. Everybody's read. And part of the story tells about architect Daniel Burnham having the challenge of building this huge World's Fair almost virtually overnight. And so it takes place here, and it mentions the buildings and the site. So people come to town, they want to see where it happened.
For fans of nature, you'll find 253 reasons to come to Jackson Park. That's how many species of birds you can find here. And bird watchers flock here from all over the country. Adorned with binoculars and a field guide, Doug Anderson of the Chicago Audubon Society will show even novice bird watchers the best ways to identify and observe birds that migrate to the park. Birds like this rare Caspian tern or these barn swallows.
Birds like different kinds of habitat. And when you get a variety of different kinds of trees as well as heavily wooded areas, that's what attracts a tremendous number of birds.
Doug leads his free tours April through December at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and 8 a.m. on Saturdays, starting from the Darrow Bridge just south of the Museum of Science and Industry. Don't forget your binoculars. And humans to this oasis within an oasis, the Osaka Garden on Wooded Island. Osaka, Japan is one of Chicago's 23 sister cities. The garden grew up around the former site of the Ho-Oden Pavilion, which was built by the Japanese government for the Columbian Exposition. Once you enter Osaka Garden's gate, be prepared to refresh your spirit.
One of the special feelings that you get from the Osaka Garden is almost a feeling of enchantment, a true oasis in the middle of a big city.
A Japanese garden isn't your typical garden either. It's designed to be explored with winding
that you are supposed to zigzag over so that perhaps if there are evil spirits following you, they don't make the zigzag and you would escape from the evil spirit. So there's many wondrous things.
The park and Osaka Garden are open from dawn until dusk. Not too far removed from the nature of Jackson Park is a stunning example of the innovative residential architecture created just after the World's Fair.
You got the Jackson Park Highlands right near there, which is a designated Chicago landmark. Really great houses. Actually, the housing stock, I was going to do an architectural tour. Wander during that period.
6 Jackson Park Express, 10 Museum of Science and Industry, 14 Jeffrey Express, 15 Jeffrey Local, 55 Garfield, 69, 61st, 63, 63rd, 67, 67, 69, 71st Street.
So the next time you want to get away, consider exploring the nature and history right here in the city, in Jackson Park.
I don't know of another place in the city or another park you really can kind of get yourself lost. That's the best part of it. You really kind of get away from it all and you're not going very far away from downtown.
We're taking the number 3 King Drive bus back north. And along the way, we'll pass by McCormick Place, one of the busiest convention centers in the world.
gather, ideas flow, and a number of CTA bus routes serve conventioneers and McCormick Place employees year-round.
The All Candy Expo is just one of the many treats found at McCormick Place. Chicago's premier convention center is the largest in North America, and recently it became Candyland, as hundreds of candy makers from around the world gathered here to promote their sweets. Of course, the Candy Expo is just one of many shows held at McCormick Place, along with other big events like the restaurant show, the dog show, and of course, the Chicago Auto Show.
The auto show, it's our biggest consumer show. They come here every year. We have close to 1 million people in attendance for that show, so it's obviously our most popular show.
The idea of McCormick Place was first conceived in the 1940s by the former owner of the Chicago Tribune, Colonel Robert R. McCormick. Following a successful railroad expedition, McCormick saw the need for a permanent exhibition hall in Chicago. It wasn't until the 1960s that McCormick Place was built, and just 7 years after its construction, a fire destroyed the building. The lakeside building was quickly reconstructed by 1971, and McCormick Place has been expanding ever since. In the 1980s, a north building was added, and in the 1990s, a south building.
We are currently underway with our West Expansion project, which we hope to complete by 2008. So currently we have about 2.2 million square feet of exhibition space and meeting room space, and we'll be adding another 750,000.
The Erie Crown Theater and Grand Concourse make McCormick Place even more attractive to big conventions and trade shows. But it isn't just about space. Visitors need other amenities, and McCormick Place has them. Like a hotel, which was built next door, or the food court, coffee shops and restaurants, not to mention the gift shops, a shoe shine parlor, a massage lounge, and a wireless internet cafe.
People like to come and open up their laptops, have a cappuccino, and do their work without having to hook up into a phone system.
With more than 3 million people coming to McCormick Place each year, its visitors also provide an economic boost to the city.
They eat in our restaurants, they shop in our stores, they spend money, and help fund all the great programs that we need here.
Of course, you can step off a CTA bus and be at the front door of McCormick Place. Here are the routes that will take you there.
3 Kings Drive, 121 Cermak Daily, the X King Drive Express, X4 Cottrell Express, X21 Cermak Express, and you're right there.
So the next time you're going to check out the latest in lollipops, or another event at McCormick Place, remember to hop on board the CTA.